Hi, my name is Pavel Klavik and I'm CTO of OrgPad. In this video, I want to show you how we manage our entire IT development using OrgPad. And of course, I will be giving this talk in OrgPad, so it's quite meta. So OrgPad is a Czech startup. We founded 3 years ago, and it is an easy to use whiteboard for all your ideas and problems. So we in IT love using whiteboard to sketch our ideas and plan some problems and projects. And OrgPad just makes everything even more powerful since you can work on this whiteboard for even multiple weeks. You can collaborate within the team and everything is really easy to use. So you can really just concentrate on your problems and finding solutions for them. So far, 14 people have registered in OrgPad, and we have a very diverse set of people using OrgPad at the moment. So there's everyone really from like elementary school teachers and their kids, and then we have university and high school students. We have everyday folks like accountants and bus drivers, and older people use OrgPad as well and love how easy it is. And the last group I want to talk about in this video are IT experts and researchers, which use OrgPad to solve their complex problems. And this was actually the primary use case because we originally developed OrgPad for our own needs, which was both IT problem solving and academic research. So our entire IT can be displayed in this diagram. And here each node corresponds to another nested diagram inside. So we have divided the entire IT of OrgPad into multiple diagrams and about particular parts of the code or problems or stuff, and we are solving it like that. And it's really easy to build something like this in OrgPad. It's really easy to nest one diagram into another. I can show it here. So in another tab, I have this diagram which gives overview of our IT architecture. And if I want to embed it into my presentation, I can just go here on the title, drag it to another tab, and drop it where it's needed. And it will automatically create me this cell which contains like description and text. And at the top there is this this preview here, this screenshot, which when I click it, it will open IT architecture in another tab. And I also have another page in which the diagram itself is embedded, so I can go and interact with it like this and open stuff and explore. So I can even embed another web page inside of one of the nodes. And it's possible to do it for OrgPad, but it's also possible to do it for other websites. So for instance, it's possible to embed Google Docs documents and other useful stuff. And if I want to connect it here, I can just go here, drag it, and connect it like this. Okay, so when I was thinking how we use OrgPad in IT, I actually discovered these 6 distinct categories of usage. And what's great about OrgPad is that it also allows you to combine and merge these things together as you see it fit. So you are not really constrained by some pre-built tool by someone, but you can build it exactly as you find useful in your own case. So I'm going to go through all of these cases, discuss some examples, and show you how using OrgPad is awesome. So let's see. So one of the category is planning new features. Like you have something in the development, some new part you want to develop, you don't know how to put pieces together yet, so you can create something like this, sort of a design document where you will think, okay, these are the use cases and this is how they fit together. As an example is this this screenshot server document. So what we do in OrgPad is that we run a separate server which runs a Puppeteer, so headless Chrome instance, which goes, opens documents, and creates their screenshots. So if I go here and I put /screenshot, I will get this static screenshot of the document. And this is useful because we can use it for social network previews, and we can also display it within the app when you show the list of the documents. And there are further great usages in running a headless Chrome. And originally, when I was thinking how to solve it, so we had a different approach where I was rendering it on the backend using Java, but then the documents were very rough and not really accurate to what they look like in the browser. So I was looking into possible solutions, and I discovered that Puppeteer exists and I can use it. So for instance, I watched this video and I put it here, and if I'm interested in it, I can watch it later. Yeah, I also put a GitHub page for Puppeteer, and I found some examples of the code, even how to do it in ClojureScript, some blog posts. And when I collected these resources, I started to think how to split the problem. So we have an OrgPad server which runs in Clojure, so a Java server, but Puppeteer is built for Node.js, so we had to build a separate server. And it's also a good idea to run it on a completely different machine, because otherwise Chrome will consume all of your memory and will crash the server. And there's this communication where when someone does a change in the document, I will go, the OrgPad server will go and request a new screenshot from the screenshot server. Now the screenshot server will open the link, will wait till it's loaded, and then it will generate an image and store it into S3. So I was able to basically plan everything here, and when I was done, I just needed to code it, which was not that difficult. And then my colleague who takes care of deployment and DevOps, he basically built this idea how this plan, how he will deploy it to the production server. Yeah, so this is one use case. Like, I have something in the code I don't understand yet well enough. I need to plan it. I need to build around it. I can also share it with other people. If we later want to do improvements on Screenshot Server, we can expand this document. Another example is to write a documentation which is more understandable. So this is, for example, a quick overview of our IT architecture. So as I was saying, the server runs in Clojure, so on top of JVM, and we are using some standard library, and the server is quite small. The core of our application is actually in the front end, where we run ClojureScript, and it's built on top of React and two other ClojureScripts wrappers for it, which are quite amazing. And we also use stuff like Material UI, and we have our own custom library for animations, Spring animations you can see in this video. There are also layout web workers who compute on the background new positions of the node. So when I click something, it will open and all the other stuff will move away. So this is done using our custom built module. And there is also this screenshot server which runs headless Chrome in Puppeteer. There's also some static web in front of it. We have CSS generation using actually also written in Clojure, using data structures, using this library called Garden, and database is PostgreSQL. So it's quite standard stuff, and we store also files in MinIO, which is S3 storage. Yeah, so this is a high level overview of our code. There is also a more detailed internal overview where we have like this, for instance, this here is the structure of the database. And this is the server, this is the client, these are how the data are stored on the client, routes between server and client, and so forth. So we can really build easily this documentation, which is fun to use, and it can quickly explain what's going on. Yeah. Another use case is study of technologies, new technologies or libraries, basically stuff you don't know and you need to understand it better. So of course, part of it you have already seen in the case of screenshot server, but let me show you another example. This is something I'm currently working on. We plan to turn OrgPad on mobile into a progressive web app, which allows us to have faster loading time and also allows people to use OrgPad even when they're offline, which is amazing. So in this document, I'm trying to basically put various sources of information so I can understand what's possible and what's not, and what are the good starting points. So currently it's just a collection of a lot of raw data. There are some videos I found about progressive web apps, some snippets copied from the web. There is, for instance, this manifest JSON we have to generate, and I have a link to MD and web documentation. And basically, I'm collecting stuff here to really understand what we need to do to have the minimal viable product, and then we will start building it. So I will turn this page into this design document you have seen, and over the time I will be adding more and more stuff as we progressively work on this. Yeah. So this is OrgPad is very useful in this area as well. Yeah. So let's go forward. We also use OrgPad to track bugs. We don't really use any backtracker because it's not really that big of deal. Like the benefits are not so great since our team is still very small and it's really easy to manage it. And also it's much more fun, and it also allows one to basically connect the bugs together and maybe design how to solve them within the document and so on. So it's much more connected to the rest of the development than having the bugs separately. So there's this public backtracker where everyone can come and write their ideas and improvements and what they found wrong. And also we frequently use we create some work pages which track bug fixes. So in this case, we started with a smaller document, and everyone in the team was adding bugs they discovered and like maybe also small improvements. And the way how we do it, basically we create this to-do list is that we put cells with different colors, and then when the stuff is done, we color it green, which is amazing because you can visually see how much you progress, say over a course of a week or two. And it's a great feeling basically when you see everything changing to green. And of course, for instance, when you track some bug, maybe you put some screenshots with some debugging information, or you put links to where it occurs, or stuff like that. So you can easily connect it to the rest of the documents. For instance, here we were debugging some issue occurring on Safari, and so we built this separate nested document where we had some debugging information taken from a Safari machine. yeah, the last two examples are we can use it to build developer wiki. So not only to document our code, but also to give useful links and resources to the developers. So we have this document which summarizes a lot of stuff. There is like what you should install and how you should do it. There is some insight into our production architecture, like how you can SSH to the production server or to the production repo. Our SSH keys or an SSH config. So if we have a new machine, we can just copy the SSH config and everything will work. There are things like how you can back up the database manually, how you can get a copy of the backed up database and so on. So it's a really useful source. Basically when you start development, but also when you need to look something quickly up, and the entire team can easily collaborate on this, and it's much more free than using the standard linear Wikipedia. And the last example I want to talk about is you can easily turn your documents into beautiful presentations. So we use it whenever we give some talks. This is an example of my talk I gave on a Czech conference for some mathematicians, which there is actually a typo here. Node. Okay. So I gave this to a conference for Czech mathematicians, basically explaining how the automatic layouting works, like the stuff where you open the stuff and things move away and so on. So there is this document available. And it's really easy to create a presentation. Let me show it. So let's say I want to turn this into a presentation. I go here in the menu, I click presentation, create a new presentation, and here I can set up a path going through this diagram step by step. So say in the first step, I want to say this thing is opened and maybe this stuff is also visible on the camera. And then I will do another step and maybe I want to focus on this bottom part here, as I was talking in the beginning. And then another step might be I will go and I will open this node here. And maybe another step would be that I will focus on the entire, diagram like this. Yeah, so when I close it, I can go to present here and it will start a full screen presentation where I can go back and forth like this. So I can go, this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the third step, this is the fourth step, the last one. And as you can see, it's really easy and fun to set this up. And when you build a talk like this, you can really amaze everyone because they have never seen something like this. So in a way, if you know Prezi, for instance, the OrgPad allows you to do something very similar, and it's sort of a free feature we built on top of everything else. And that's really the core philosophy of OrgPad, is that we like to combine stuff and allow people to use the tool in a lot of different ways. And that's amazing because in the end, you can basically build your documents around your problems and not artificially divide them into multiple tools, like a different tool for writing documents, of tracking bugs and planning and studying and giving presentations. You can build everything in one. And that's quite amazing because then your documents are basically about particular problems you're working on, which is much closer to what is happening in your brain. Okay, so that's this quick overview. I hope you found it interesting. If you like the stuff you have seen, you can just register your account at orgpad.com. It's completely free. You can try it out, and we would love you to see there. And of course, if you find this interesting, I would love to know in the comments what you would like to see next. Basically, if you would want to see particular videos about the stuff I was talking about, or you would like to see some more insight into our technology, please let us know. Thanks. Bye-bye.